Okay, now I am speaking from page 74. Okay, and we are talking about the pairing force. So we talked about the pairing force previously as well. So the pairing force is a force that couples the nucleons, and as a result of that we know that the orbital angular momentum and the spin angular momentum can cancel each other because of this, right? And therefore the paired nucleons will not contribute to the magnetic moment, like we also discussed this when we were previously discussing the equation, right? Okay, so we only need to consider a few valence nucleons. So we also talked about the concept of a valence nucleon, like you were also asking a question about that at that time. So this is we can use the analogy of the electron and the atom. So normally the inner core, we use the term core nucleons and we use the word valence nucleons. The core nucleons have a higher tendency to couple into pairs and thereby cancelling their spins and their magnetic moments, whereas the valence nucleon will have a lesser influence of its neighbors and therefore that might be the one responsible for giving the magnetic moment property. Okay. So it may happen that at the end we only have to consider a few valence nucleons. So okay, so again we have many other things that can be considered. For example, we have some heavy nuclei, if you look at that binding energy table we showed you, in the beginning you have the light nuclei and then later on you have the heavy nuclei. The heavy nuclei have a larger number of nucleons, and in that case we can also see that some of them have very large magnetic moments. So maybe like if we use the nuclear magneton as a unit of magnetic moment, so some of them have multiple times this quantity, and therefore we can explain that by saying that maybe they have a higher contribution from their valence nucleons. And anyway, it has been observed that the largest has been up till 6 nuclear magnetons, 6 mu n somewhere there. Okay, and then the next non-vanishing moment is the electric quadrupole moment. So the quadrupole moment EQ of a classical point charge E is given by okay. Now in this case, if the particle moves with spherical symmetry, then we can say on average z squared is equal to x squared is equal to y squared is equal to r squared over 3, and the quadrupole moment will vanish. Vanishes. So E into 3 r squared over 3 minus r squared will be equal to 0. And if the particle moves in a classical flat orbit, let's say in the xy plane, then z is equal to 0 and EQ is equal to E into 3z squared minus r squared. So we can say that EQ is equal to E into 0 minus r squared, and therefore Q will be equal to minus r squared. But this was the classical treatment, right? And if we try to use the quantum mechanical treatment, then the quadrupole moment in quantum mechanics will be given by EQ and the expectation value equation that we just talked about into psi and dV. So this is 3.36 and this is for a single proton. And okay, you can take a photo . ठीक है, okay. And for an orbiting neutron, Q is equal to 0, and if psi squared is spherically symmetric, then Q is equal to 0. And if psi squared is concentrated in the xy plane, which is z is approximately equal to 0, then Q will be approximately equal to minus r squared. And if psi squared is concentrated along the z axis, that is z is approximately equal to r, then Q will be approximately equal to plus 2 into r squared. So this means that 3r squared minus r squared is equal to 2r squared. And in this case, r squared is the mean square radius of the orbit. So again you can see that the concept of the pairing force is helpful for this, right. So if the paired nucleons move in spherically symmetric orbits, they do not contribute to Q. And for many nuclei, the quadrupole moment can be estimated from the valence